Hey there, this is e57, and this is my Star Wars beer fridge. Star Wars themed mini fridge, or in this case, micro fridge, just because it's so small. It's not like your typical dorm size mini fridge. This is really, really small. This is for carrying around. Yeah, it was like maybe 50 bucks, and then another 20, 30 something for the 12 volt battery there, but it used to have a real cheap chintzy handle, so I pulled that off and installed this one. It's held on with quarter 20 bolts, so it's not going nowhere. But it's at like a real comfortable angle, so that when you hold it, it doesn't, make your hand go in weird places, or yeah, you can get a nice good grip off of it. So yeah, I put a battery on it just because it originally was supposed to have like an AC adapter and then another 12 volt DC for putting it in the car, but it's supposed to have power constantly, and it didn't have a battery, so I put a battery on it just because I thought the idea of having this little tiny thing plugged in all the time was kind of stupid. So why wouldn't you want to make it portable? It's got two functions. Here's the main power for the battery. There's a power level indicator, and I put a LED up here on an antenna just to let you know that the internal circuits are getting power. And then you can put it on cool. It lasts for about 4 hours. Oh wait, it lasts about 2 hours on cold, and then 6 hours on warm. It's nice and quiet. I mean, if there's literally anything else going on in the same room, then you're not going to hear it. So I made it really dirty, obviously, and greebled it. Some of my favorite greebles, like this right here. This is the soy sauce bottle cap. This is the Tylenol bottle cap. This is like a 2 amp driver from those old SSRs. Anyone remember those old SSR LEDs? No? Okay. I don't have any idea what these things are. They came from the Greeble box. I think these are like the clamps for the Amphenol connectors that I used on the Proton pack. But yeah, just Greebles from everywhere. It's a good guy fridge. I like the good guys. So the finish. One thing that I've been doing a lot lately is kind of making this quasi non-panel line thing just to create different shapes on whatever it is that you're making, be it like, laser bazooka, proton pack, steampunk lightsaber chainsaw, gunblade, whatever. All those different things, they kind of have the theme of you need to make it busy. So one of the ways that I do that is I'll take like aluminum foil tape and cut it into weird shapes. Some over here. That way it kind of breaks up the monotony of whatever the flat face is and stuff. But and then you hit it with your primary. In this case, it was primarily white. I know you can't really tell, but it was primarily white. And then you hit it with a clear coat and then acrylic wash, and then you keep doing that. Clear coat acrylic, clear coat acrylic until it starts to build up, and then you can start to see the differentiation of like the colors and stuff after a while. And the benefit is that it actually creates real layers, instead of just like, okay, try to make it dirty over here and try to get in the crevices or something down here, but it actually creates layers. And one of the things that was going through my head was when I was making this was just like, well, this sort of comes from like the corner of X Rebel base or something, say Yavin 4 or something, and it's just sort of there as like some miscellaneous piece of equipment, and then your favorite hero has to go on some sort of trek or journey, so he'll just grab this, or she'll grab this, and then take it off to their whatever destination, be it Jakku or Dagobah or whatever. But they need to keep their Star Wars snacks either warm or cold or something, so they have this piece of equipment, and when it's not being used on hero adventures and stuff, it just sort of gets pushed off to the side and then stored in the corner until the next hero is ready to take it and do whatever. But one of the ways that you tell that story is that you create layers of gross all over it. And maybe this dirt is from Endor, maybe this dirt over here is from, Kashyyyk or something. But the whole point is that, you're telling a story. So one of the ways you do that is to create all these different layers. And additionally, one thing that happened is like the paint started to crackle and bubble up and stuff in a whole bunch of places. And to the rest of the world, that's a bad thing. But for me, it's good because like once it dries, it kind of caves in on itself, and then it's hard. But then of course it gets hardened with the clear coat acrylic and stuff. But because of the fact that it's bubbly, it's just more texture, so that it creates these cool little pockets where the paint can get into, but it still has nice highlight points and whatnot. But yeah, that's one thing that I've been doing a lot recently as far as creating layered and or distinct looks and stuff, while keeping it somewhat visually interesting, instead of having to just add tons and tons of greebles all over it, which after a while you put too many greebles on it and you kind of forget what it is and it loses its shape. And rambling. Anyway, so yeah, this is my Star Wars theme mini fridge. I'll put up some pretty pictures or something after this. I don't know if I opened it. Did I open it? The inside is really super boring because I didn't do anything with it, and it's big enough to fit exactly one 6-pack. And I really only drink water, sometimes milk, so I'll probably just end up giving it to somebody. But yeah, there's my Star Wars beer fridge, Star Wars mini fridge, Star Wars micro fridge, Star Wars thing to keep your Star Wars snacks hot and or cold thing. Alright, see you later. The AC and the well, I held on to the I don't know what I'm talking about, but what was I saying? Oh yeah, the heat and the cold. Just sort of lost my train of thought. Anyway, hey there, this is Eastern 57. Oh, there goes the air conditioner. Stand by.